Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Castlevania livestream series. I'm pleased to say that we are finally playing a game that's not Symphony of the Night. We are now playing Castlevania. This is not the only time that Konami deemed it appropriate to just call their next, or perhaps the first, Castlevania game on a new system, simply Castlevania with no additional naming beyond that. It's not very... oh, are you kidding me? What am I to do now? My Game Boy Advance, which I was going to use as a controller, has died, and I actually don't have batteries to replace it. I just used the last batteries that I had to replace my last Wiimote batteries, so that's it, guys. I have to play on my GameCube controller, because for those who are not aware of this fact, you're able to see what I'm playing right now because I have the GameCube Game Boy player, physical attachment to my Game Boy, my GameCube rather, and I'm also using the Game Boy player disc in my GameCube, and I'm recording my GameCube while playing on an actual cartridge. And typically when I do record in that way and also play with my GameCube Game Boy player, I use an actual Game Boy Advance as a controller. But you see, even though it is plugged directly into the GameCube, it cannot receive power from the GameCube, which is frustrating. It does need an external power source. The cable that connects the Game Boy Advance, unfortunately, only transmits data. It doesn't actually charge the device. So, yeah, it can't run off the GameCube's power, and it's unfortunately run out of battery life. I had a green light on the Game Boy Advance, so I thought that I was safe and I'd at least be able to do a recording without it dying, but that's not the case, and I do regret that. You see, we now live in an era where you don't have to worry about battery life consumption quite so much, and having to use things like Wiimotes and Game Boy Advances, it really takes you back to a time in history that was not good for that reason. You know, the reliance on batteries back then was more considerable, more intense. But yes, here we are in Castlevania. Lament of Innocence got the same treatment as this game. The first Castlevania on PlayStation 2 is Castlevania. The first Castlevania on Game Boy Advance is Castlevania. We're Konami, and we literally have no fucking clue. Hi, everyone. So, yeah, unfortunately I actually have to play on my GameCube controller, which is bloody awkward. I try to play with my Game Boy Advance to have an authentic experience, even though I'm playing on a GameCube. But what particularly displeases me is the D-pad on this GameCube controller. I am using a PowerWave Accessories GameCube controller, and the D-pad is not extremely accurate. Whereas the D-pad on a Game Boy Advance, while stiff, is accurate, so yeah, I don't know if that's going to negatively affect my ability to enjoy the game as I play it, but whatever. We're going to make a character either way. Like, I'm already having issues accurately selecting the letters here as listed, so that's really not a good start here. Oh, I actually have enough characters to make Doomlink. Sometimes I can only make Doomlin, which means I'll have to shorten it to Doom or something like that. But we can fit Doomlink, and that pleases me greatly. One thing that I have to say is that because this game actually came out, this is Circle of the Moon, by the way, I think I've only been jokingly referring to it as simply Castlevania in this recording, but it is of course Circle of the Moon. It's worth mentioning that Circle of the Moon came out around the time the Game Boy Advance came out. It was one of the first games. I don't know if it was actually a launch title of the Game Boy Advance, I don't remember, but it was pretty much in the first 12 months of its release. What that means is that it does actually have a save battery in the cartridge itself. Later Game Boy Advance games didn't have them. Of course, every original Game Boy and Game Boy Color cartridge did use a save battery, but in the case of Game Boy Advance, it was only the ones within, let's just say for argument's sake, the first 12 months of the system's lifespan that had save batteries. Unfortunately, that does include this particular cartridge, and what I'm trying to say here is that I don't actually know if the save battery on this cartridge has been replaced. I probably knew the answer to that question when I got this cartridge a long time ago, but I don't remember now. And yeah, it's just a little awkward because that means my Let's Play is riding on this save battery surviving, but that's the excitement, isn't it? I've already had a save battery die on me during a Let's Play. It happened with my A Link to the Past Let's Play. That was a Super Nintendo cartridge save battery which died. I don't know if the information is stored anywhere else on the cartridge in the event of a failing save battery, but I'm going to assume that because it's the Super Nintendo, probably not. So I'd say that save is lost, as well as the other saves that I had on the cartridge, which is quite a shame. I was intending on actually restarting that Let's Play, but on the Game Boy Advance version of A Link to the Past, which I do own, but I never did get around to doing that. What I hope is that I'm not going to suffer the same sort of save loss during this Let's Play. That is something that I'm not going to take a risk with for the entirety of this Let's Play's existence. What I'm going to do is open up the cartridge, see if it looks like a new save battery. If it does look like a new one, I'm going to relax. And if it doesn't, I'm going to have to, solder a new one in. And I'm happy to do that, it's just I don't have the equipment to do so at this stage. But yeah. The solution is to never stop streaming until you finish the game, says Potato in the chat, which is encouraging, except that it's not encouraging at all. Camilla says, we crave the presence of the embodiment of suffering. It's a strange thing to desire. The ruler of darkness. Isn't Dracula pink in this game? I think he is. I seem to recall. Oh no, he's not pink in this game. I must be thinking of what? Oh no, I'm thinking of Death in Symphony of the Night. Anyway, no, he's not pink in this game. He's not pink in any game. Again, getting confused with Death. No, Death isn't... Which game is Death pink in? Maybe it's not Symphony that I... Ignore me. I have waited for this moment to be awake again. Well written. To bask in darkness and feel the moonlight within. Count Dracula, I am honoured to be in your presence. Just look how that clashes with the background. The in your part. I mean, that's... It actually looks worse on my screen than it does on yours, because I can see the OBS playback there, and it's so much worse on my screen. Anyway, indeed, though I lack my full power, we are preparing the rite to replenish your power. Stop! Screams Morris Baldwin. You cannot be allowed to taint the world. You, I remember, you were one of the vampire killers that sealed me. You've aged. It is our duty to see you banished. Amusing. To use my nemesis' life to return my power. I have no use for children. Begone. Hugh, Nathan, Master, Father. And this is the beginning of the game. We fall an incredible distance. Our legs do not break when we actually reach the bottom of this pit. And Nathan says, no creatures around here. That is his first reaction. No real concern about what's just happened. No expression of, I don't know, fear for his father's safety and well-being. There's just no creatures around here. Hugh, are you okay? Yeah. Oh wait, it's Hugh who is the son of that Baldwin guy. Sorry. Nathan, I think, he's a Belmont, isn't he? Nathan Belmont. Nathan Graves, sorry. I think he's related to the Belmonts. I don't remember the story. I'm sure that those of you watching this, if you are fans of Castlevania, do know his relation to the Belmonts and whether or not there is such a relation. I am working on very, very vague memories of a distant past, which I'm hoping to rediscover, relearn, etc. as I return to Castlevania and play it again. Because it was really in my childhood when I used to play those games frequently. We have to find Master. I'll go. He's my father. Nathan, you'll be in the way. Just get out of here. If Nathan is going to be in the way in trying to get back to your father, why did you bring him in the first place? I suppose that's probably what, we'll say Baldwin Sr. wanted. I don't know. I don't understand the dynamics of these people, but anyway. I want to find Master as much as anybody. I see. Okay, so We can't run yet, because I just attempted to run. I remember, and it does actually hurt your thumb over time, it's one of those things that perhaps was not clearly thought out when it was designed, but to run in this game, you actually need to double tap the D-pad in the direction that you're moving in. And when you do that on a Game Boy Advance D-pad for an extended period of time, it does create some magnificent thumb fatigue. And I have to say that it's going to be more comfortable on this D-pad, but like I previously intimated, this D-pad is not very accurate, so I, at this stage, don't know what I would prefer. Inaccuracy or comfort. We'll see. At the moment, though, it feels weird to be playing on a GameCube controller, so that's my first impression. Oh, apparently this game takes place in a separate continuity, as Potato describes it. He's not related to the Belmonts in any way. Fair enough. Why they felt the need to do that, I don't know. Maybe they wanted to reboot the series and then decided, wait, that's a fucking stupid idea. I suggest that because they did just call it Castlevania and not Circle of the Moon, at least I would imagine so. Otherwise, they may have just in certain regions decided that they were not going to call it Circle of the Moon and just Castlevania for one reason or another. Who knows? It's a mystery. I'm awkwardly pressing the giant green A button on my GameCube controller to jump, which, like I said, just feels wrong. I'm used to playing on a Game Boy Advance. Or at the very least, not a controller like this. Okay, so we've got the B button there. Bloody hell. The speed at which you fall is quite extraordinary. Just need to get my timing down pat. It's been a while since I last played. And there is a certain awkwardness to the combat here. If you have come straight from Symphony of the Night, for example, to use another Metroidvania as comparison, this is incredibly crude. It's just, it does not feel the same. It's not that it's going to be unpleasant to play, it just requires a little bit of adjustment. And Symphony of the Night was the last one that I played, so yeah, this is definitely a little more, even though it came many years after, it is on a portable system, so it is just that little bit more primitive in its design. Alright. I'm not sure how I feel about the game brightness right now. I feel like the colors are so much richer on my actual television screen. They look washed out and unremarkable in what you're seeing, and that bothers me. I don't know what the solution is to that. Oh, I know why they're washed out and unremarkable. It's because that large monitor that I'm looking at the game on is exactly like that with all colors. So yeah, I can relax. I can actually rest easy and come to terms with the fact that it probably looks just fine. And that monitor just really sucks at color reproduction. I don't even know if we can get in there in the future. I think we can, but for now, obviously, we can't access that. How do I see the map? I don't even know what's... You see, I don't have a select button on this fucking controller, so how do I press Z? No, I certainly don't press that. I'm sorry, I regret having pressed that. If I don't have a select button, what do I press? Help? I'm in need of assistance. I do believe that select is the map button, but if I don't have a select button on my controller, I'm not too sure what there is for me to be doing. Unless I... of course. It has become Y on the controller. What about X? X and Y do the same thing, that's fine. As long as I have access to a map, I'm content. I'm not going to complain what the button is, or complain about what the button is. I'm just happy to be able to access it. I do not have high standards, or unnecessary requirements. Alright. Alright, so this is where the music gets real good. This is where things are a whole lot more nostalgic and a whole lot more, you know, invigorating. A sense of, perhaps, adrenaline starts to flow within you. Not just a sense of, but literal adrenaline starts to flow in you as the memories of the past start to return. Attribute and action cards will create a specific effect. These can be set at the menu screen, DSS option. Now this is very interesting. I still don't have a complete hang of all of these action cards. Salamander, I believe, has a fire effect, but I don't think we can do anything with it right now because we can only get an effect with 2 cards, an action and a tribute card, working side by side. That's my understanding of it. So, even though we just picked up a Salamander card, you're not going to see any fire effect with either the whip or anything. It's not there. It's because we do need that second action card in order to do anything. So, there you are. Took a little bit of damage there, but we utterly decimated that bat, so I'm not so worried about it. I'm taking stupid damage now, but do expect that. I'm going to attack the bone whatchamacallit, because I need experience points. Oh, and apparently I'm getting another card. We got a Mercury card. Now, is that an action card? It is an action card. So we're going to see what this effect happens to be. I hope that we will actually be able to see something going on with the... Oh, that's right. I think we need a... Yes, there we go. We activate it like that. So when we press the L button, that is the left shoulder button, we can actually activate this combination. Now, if I do... So if I don't have an action... I was correct. If I don't have an action card selected, you can see we get no effect. But now that I have activated this combination, we have a description of what the effect is, and that is Fire Whip to attack enemies. That is our first combination. As I understand it, it is not a guaranteed drop to get the card from that enemy. Usually you don't get that effect so early on. Needless to say, when we activate this, you're going to see our mana drain. But it only drains with individual attacks. So that's good to know. It doesn't just passively drain as we have the effect. I think that's fair, because what that means is that it's going to recover if we choose not to attack, which is actually a good way of controlling the use of our MP. Why did I turn that way, is the golden question. I thought I'd be able to jump over that bomb, and I was unable to do so. I thought I destroyed that bomb. Perhaps I did, and I instead got hit by the bone thing, whatever the bone thing's called. What are you called again? I don't know why I was getting information about the bat, but not about the bone thing. Perhaps the bone thing had appeared on screen as a name so many times that the game decided that I didn't need to know anymore. I don't know. If you're wondering why I'm getting hit so much, it's because I suck at Castlevania, and I'm progressively getting better. Progressively. It's going to be a slow process, and I'm going to ask you all to be patient on that front, but yeah. When it comes to this game and its jumping, you actually do need to hold the jump button in order to jump as high as you possibly can. It's not just a set jumping ability. It's not, in other words, a set distance when you press the button. And I think that's okay. I rather like the fact that it requires more specific input in order to do something in particular. Like jump a certain distance. I'm going to leave my glass a little more closer to me so I'm not having to duck under the fucking microphone cable every time I bring it towards me. Okay. I wasn't too sure how far towards the ground they were going to fly to hit me. It turned out very far to the ground. I suppose that's their only objective, it is to hit me. I don't know if I should be going in this direction. My guess is that I shouldn't be. And the reason why is because I would like to, at this stage, prioritize finding a save point. So 6 damage with the flame effect, and 12 without it. That tells me that these bone-headed things actually have some flame resistance, which is a bit silly because we just got this new effect and I'm not even able to use it to any particular effect. It is actually called a bonehead. Okay, well, I'm pretty sure I just called it a bonehead, but I didn't call it thinking that was the official name. Very descriptive. Okay, so here is our save point. That's nice. Of course it is going to save the game when we do that, not just heal us. Because it is called a save point, not a heal point. Thank you for that clarification, Doomlink. You are quite honestly adding so much to this experience. Alright. Bombs everywhere. I'm actually... not really everywhere. Bombs repeatedly being thrown at me is how I should really comment on it. Which is true. There's an easy way to deal with it. Don't get hit by them. Alright, so I'm a little curious as to what's going on further that way, so I'm going to go that way first. I don't particularly remember where I'm going in this game. It's not that hard to work out, but what I mean to say is that if there is a correct way and an incorrect way to go at any point in time as I progress through the castle, I don't know what is the correct and incorrect way, which is probably more fun to watch. I see. We do need some sort of ability in order to push that. I don't remember if that's in the form of, things like skill cubes or... Yeah, let's see what it's actually called. I bet it's... Well, it's not going to be a card. I don't know. Magic item? Aha, it'll be a magic item. Very well. Skill cube, magic item. I'm not fast. Whoops, we want to go here. And I think it is time we head down. We have more to explore. I don't like that you guys go so low to the ground. It's not very convenient for me. There we go, we got to level up. See, it's not a waste of time to be constantly dealing with the same enemies. I am getting experience points, and that's important. Ugh, couldn't quite catch you. If I do make strange maneuvers, it's because of this D-pad. It's quite difficult to only move yourself in one direction, if that makes sense. It's because the D-pad is not separate buttons aligned in a D-pad formation. It is a rocking... I don't know what the word that I'm looking for is, but it's a rocking D-pad, we'll say. It's like a flat plastic plate which rocks around in the general direction of where you want your character to go, which I hate. Absolutely hate it. It infuriates me. It's insulting. But that's what I have to deal with. To be honest, the D-pad of the Game Boy is similar to that, but it's at least shaped in a cross fashion. Like it is a cross shape, which means that it's not going to be rocking in diagonal directions, if that makes sense. It can only rock in those cardinal directions. Which is probably where you want to go anyway. One would imagine. And we're not going to continue in that direction, because that actually takes us to another location. We're going to try to explore this place as much as we can. If it seems that I'm moving very slowly through here, it's because I can't really move quickly yet. There is a running ability in this game, but it's a magic item, I would assume. That's what they're called, okay? It sounds strange for running to be attached to what's referred to as a magical item, but that's just how the naming convention is in this game. Oh, it's the boss. Look, I know it's a little excessive to be doing this for the first boss, but just in case, I'm doing it to be careful. Better to be safe than sorry, as they say. I have had a level up, and killing these enemies is good for my experience at this early stage in the game anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to return to the save point, save my game, and then take on the boss, okay? I know it's a little painstaking, perhaps even a little repetitive, but quite frankly, being careful is a small price to pay for success. And goodness knows I need all the help I can get at this stage with my limited skill level. Alright. Now, we will probably get an indication that the save battery is starting to die if at any point I save my progress and it just doesn't actually update the save file at all. Hopefully then that will tell me to replace the save battery. That's what we want. We don't want it to just suddenly die and then I lose everything, like what happened with my A Link to the Past cartridge. Or at least I assumed that that's what happened with that. I'm just going to try and sit back a little bit. I just want my microphone to be in a more comfortable position. I don't want to be reaching towards the microphone. It's rather silly. I do, or rather should, bit this out of my mouth. I rather should have the luxury of having the microphone come to me rather than the other way around. The inside of my mouth is swelling because I did actually bite it while eating food today. So it's jutting out towards my teeth as I speak, which is just lovely. It's what I honestly enjoy. Not. Alright, so we're dealing with a demon here. You can see that he's actually got a lot of strength to harm us with. That's a just fucking horrendous way to describe that, don't you think? I mean, you really could have tried a little harder than that. It's not very illustrative or creative or evocative. Yeah, you have a lot of damage and a lot of health. And it's not really worth fighting you. If I do successfully kill you, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fucking go back and save. How do I... No, that's how I do it. Just going to use a throwing knife. 2 damage. Brilliant. Now, how is your fire resistance, my friend? Whatever it happens to be. Fuck off. This is just so painful. Especially when you have to hold the A button to get to his height. Oh my god, and then it comes from that side. And he's dead. I'm sorry, everyone. I can't run yet. So we have to slowly walk back to the save point. To maintain our experience points. I'm not going to engage him the next time I go through. I genuinely thought that was the boss room. So, there you are. And we got to level up by killing one of those tiny worms on the ground. That's quite funny. Poison worm. But it's like 1 experience point. Something like that. Alright. Don't you dare poison me. I do have antidotes, but I'm not about to waste them now. I would hate to have to use an antidote in order to not die. Because I do have low health here. I'm not really in the mood to take a chance. Not when I'm actually taking the time to go all the way back to the save location. Or the save point, whatever you want to say. I do want to save the game. Imagine saving this many times before reaching the boss. Get it together, Doomlink. Like I suggested before, I just need to counterbalance my inability to play the game with patience and a willingness to play it safe. Which obviously go hand in hand. Playing it safe usually requires a bit of patience. I've just fucking poisoned myself. I'm sorry. You guessed right in case you didn't. Well, my point is you did guess correct if you guessed that I am going to immediately return to the save in order to recover my health and remove poison from my person. I'm doing that to conserve resources. Goodness knows I may end up actually poisoning myself in the future, and at that point I will really need to conserve life with an antidote. Whereas this time around I'm so close to the save point, why would I bother? Why would I bother? I'm just going to slowly walk back to the save point. Likely at the expense of your enjoyment while watching, but too bad. I'm here to succeed, not sark. Well, I suppose I can't help but sark. But I can try to at least have some success through my poor play. Or in spite of it. As far as I'm aware, you can't go through those breaks in the mesh. The metal mesh. Oh god. Oh, here we go. Dash boots. Excellent. So double jump, double tap forward to perform a dash move. Now, presumably, we can do a running jump once we do that. That looked like a double jump, but it wasn't. I'm not going to explain why it looked like that. But yeah, if we do that, we can actually jump further, which is interesting. I like that idea. To have not just a double jump, but to in fact have a system where you can effectively jump further if you run. Very cool. Very dynamic platforming and movement, and quite frankly, combat to require... Combat? Shut up, Doomley. Combat to require different timing with pressing the A button to jump, requiring different movement speeds in order to make certain jumps. It is a little crude in places, and a little primitive in places. By it, I refer to this game. But still, it's a good Castlevania. And definitely meaningful, worthwhile, and full of substance. That's what I would say about this game. Get this bloody zombie out of my face. I believe we killed that purple poison brain thing. Well, I'm calling it a brain, because it looks like a brain when all of the worms are there together. We are one-shotting most of these enemies, but it's only the start of the game, so I'm not so worried about that. They're teaching us to evade before they teach us to, I don't know, survive, if that makes sense. I'm not streaming fucking Minecraft. What kind of question is that? Why would you debase this recording by asking that question? It's like playing Dark Souls and saying, "When are you streaming Fortnite?" What the fuck? Anyway. Oh. Now, it's interesting the way in which the... Oh, that's not working. I can tell it's not working. It's interesting the way the bones are thrown by these skeletons. They are actually very easy to avoid. They're not designed to hit someone who's jumping, whereas the bones being thrown in other games that I'm familiar with, that is in reference to Metroidvania, Castlevania games, they are definitely designed to hit someone who's trying to jump over the enemy. So, there you are. Yes, I'm sure it would be, Potato. Alright. Let's observe the map, see how we've been moving. I don't know how the hell I've managed to avoid a boss for this long, but anyway, I genuinely thought that I'd be dealing with a boss sooner than this, but whatever. I do have a little bit of hesitation when it comes to activating my fire ability, because at this stage I don't know which enemies are weak to fire and which ones aren't. But what I think is a safe assumption is that skeletons and skeletal enemies probably don't have that much susceptibility to fire. There's not much to light on fire. They're not very flammable. Bone is not particularly flammable, as I understand it. Can it burn? Probably. But, yeah. Dried out bone from a skeleton that's moving around and stuff, I somehow don't think it would be that effective to immolate it with a flaming... what's it called? Whip, yes. I threw a knife, inadvertently. I can't go through there yet. I'm perfectly happy to discover things like this, because at least I know that there's a direction here that I can't continue in now that I can come back to later. I'd rather have discovered it than not, that is to say. Alright, where am I going now? Honestly, it feels like there's so much going on here, so many different directions to go in that I'm going to get lost if I don't actually refer to the map. But that's alright. For now, we'll go and get what I assume to be an MP max up. It is indeed. And I'm going to try and not get hit by these enemies. I don't know if they have an effect that they can... No, they don't actually hurt me in any way. What are these? These are spirits. Yeah, that makes sense. And I'm running. That was not intentional, but it helped a lot. It also saved some time. I'm not going up there just yet. I do have a little bit more exploration to do in this area. I'm a little bit worried about my last... Okay, I'm worried about the following. I have not saved recently, and I don't want to fuck something up. We're doing fine in terms of our health, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm suddenly content with the fact that I haven't saved in like 10 minutes. Do I go up or further to the east? I would say probably up, because I seem to have a vague memory of there being a save point, and even then, logically speaking, I think it would make sense for there to be a save point closer to this position than in the other direction. Interestingly, the thumb fatigue I was describing is still present with the GameCube D-pad. Double tapping a D-pad to run in a direction is a terrible game design decision. I don't know what else they would do. I understand that there are limited buttons on the Game Boy Advance, but fucking hell. It's truly uncomfortable. Stop with the bomb, please. Where's my save point? I need a save point soon. I'm going to stay down here. I'm going to see if there's actually a save point over this way. Please let there be a save point. Oh my god, there's a lot going on over here. There's like a lot of enemies and also quite a distance to run. Quite frankly, these MP max-ups can fuck off. What my priority is at this stage is to either get an HP max-up or to find a save point. That's what I'm desperately looking for. A nicely placed bomb. I'm not going to deny that was a well-placed bomb. Expertly placed. Oh, can I not continue without the double jump? It's starting to look like that's the case. I wasn't properly paying attention, but yeah, I actually think I require the double jump to progress, which is fine. That narrows down my... Oh, hold on. Is that the... Yes, I think it is that, isn't it? It's the thing that requires... Yes. It requires some magical ability in order for me to get into a tight place. To progress in that direction, so that's fine. Let us see what's down here. Don't you fucking hit me with that. Okay, this is a direction for me to continue. No, it's not a direction for me to continue in. We've been over this. We've been over this. Okay, and stop it. 2 damage is not much damage, but it's still more than I'd like to... Oh, the save point was here all along. What is wrong with me? Anyway, that's alright. Alright. Now, my guess is that I was correct in my evaluation of the area north, in that I do require the double jump to continue. Even if that's incorrect, so be it. Let's just continue in this direction for now. I hope that I haven't missed a boss or anything like that. I don't think I have. Like I said, I feel like it's been a long time since I started and I still haven't encountered a boss of any kind. But, well, what I mean to say is that it feels like it's unnaturally long for me to be waiting for a boss. Oh, I can do that. Alright. That's cool. Apparently I've always had the ability to do that. Not in all Castlevanias can you do that maneuver, but in this one you can. That was a little dangerous to do that. I probably should stop attacking flames, by the way, because I'm really not in need of hearts. I have plenty. I'm in possession of an excessive amount of hearts. But yeah, as I was saying before, there is noticeable thumb fatigue, even with this controller, so... Yeah, I just need to strengthen my thumb again. What am I going to get? Game Boy thumb? On a GameCube controller. GameCube thumb. Could just call it Gamer's thumb. Alright. Some form of debilitating arthritis, I'm sure. Okay, there's another direction for me to go in, further south of here. Heading towards the east. Alright. And it's another one of these rooms with an enemy that I don't, at this stage, want to fight. I could fight him, but I don't especially want to. It feels like it would take too long, and I don't really know if it's worth the XP at this point. Of course the XP is nice, but is it worth the amount of time that I'm going to have to spend? Probably not. Now I can't perform the jump to get up here just yet. It's sort of a zigzagging jump, which is very cool. I thought it was well designed when I first used it, when I played this game the first time, long ago. But, yeah. I should mention that in the past, this game was a little bit too difficult for me to play when I was a kid. I felt that it wasn't very beginner-friendly, because after having played, you know, Symphony of the Night in particular, I just had an expectation for what I could expect with... Let me rephrase that in a way that doesn't make me sound like an absolute fucking clown. I had an expectation for what sort of difficulty there would be with a, you know, modern Castlevania game, and this was more difficult than that. I'm running through here because I'm impatient. Yeah, okay. Apparently the bone can be used when... Yeah, alright, now I'm poisoned. Let's just run through here. I understand that it is beneficial for my experience to actually be attacking these enemies, but at this stage, impatience is actually taking over. Yeah, I know that I can't proceed in those two directions, so let's just return to the starting area. I don't regret having ventured in that direction because I got the running thing. Oh, I got a potion. I didn't realize that I could just get potions from these enemies. Yes, I know. I don't care. I can move so fast now. It doesn't matter if I just run through everything and take hits stupidly because I can get to the save point just like that. How good is that? How good is that running ability? Fortunately, they don't force you to walk around for very long in this game. Imagine if you had to do half the game walking at the speed I was walking at the start of this recording. Not very nice. The fortunate thing is that even though it does hurt my thumb to have to run all the time, at the very least for you guys, I'm actually able to make a little bit of progress. With less time spent. Are you fucking kidding me? Can I not make this jump? I came all the way back here just to not be able to make this jump? This is an insult. Oh my god, what the fuck? Where do I go then? What have I missed? I don't know. I can't make that jump, it's not possible. I need the ability to jump higher by jumping off walls, basically. Okay, the running jump can't actually get me there. I was half expecting some ability to be required to progress, but whatever. It's apparently not the running ability, so we'll just try again. I will attempt to go in a different direction, although I really don't know where the fuck to go. Okay, perhaps I could try. Yeah, fuck off. I don't need to be affected by any worms either. I'm trying to defend myself slowly but surely. And I got hit by a worm. And another worm. Let's recover the poison. And I'm going to see if I can actually ascend vertically. Because I can see that there are some directions for me to go in to the north, just over here. I need to at least eliminate that as an option in my recent memory. You can see that there's impatience working its way into my gameplay now. You can definitely see that. Oh, look at all that blood. Makes me feel bad. I like bats. All of that blood. From my beloved bats. Uh-huh. Well, no, that's not aha at all. Well, no, I can't make that jump. Or can I? No, I can't. Look, it's so tantalizingly close. Fuck. Alright, well, I can't progress in that direction. I genuinely thought that I might be able to. You never know. But it appears that I cannot. Woe is me. Alright, but look, I'm not too sure where to go at this stage. I'll work it out, I have no doubt, but... Maybe that rock that was blocking my path can be destroyed somehow. Perhaps even with regular attacks. I didn't try, to be fair. Like I just actually didn't make an attempt whatsoever to break that rock. So maybe it is breakable with what I have on hand. Fuck off, worms. I'm not interested in your wormy things. Run. And run and run some more. Alright, we do want to go higher up. Because that is what's going to get us to that rock that I was mentioning. This is the level we want to be at, I think. Is it? No. We want to be higher than that. Hurry up, please. If you would be so kind. Alright. Can we do anything with the rock? I can't imagine that a flaming whip would do anything to it, no. Oh my god. What if I run into it? It's reasonable to assume that running into something would give me some sort of additional force behind my person to perhaps push a rock or something. I don't know. What's confusing is that both that rock and the block from before seem to both need to be pushed, but they look different from one another. I don't like that. That's a little inconsistent. Okay, the only conclusion that I can actually draw from all of this is that I was wrong about requiring the double jump to proceed before. So let's go back there and see how we can actually move forward. Again, you have to go by a process of elimination. There's nowhere else for me to go except for there, and I do seem to recall that I was open to the possibility that I had misinterpreted the circumstances, and that I may have not required the double jump to proceed, after all. So I'm running through enemies because I am becoming increasingly incensed by the amount of backtracking I'm having to do. I don't hate it that much, it's just, you know, maybe saying increasingly incensed is dramatic. I'm getting a lot of potions though. Oh, antidotes rather. Potions are... well, they look like pumpkin juice, don't they? Alright, so we definitely want to go straight up. But before we do that, let's go to the save point and recover our health, remove poison, etc. That is not the save point. Alright. Up we go. Hit the spear guy. For anyone who hasn't done it, play this game for 2 hours. Just play it for 2 hours, running frequently. I dare you. Your thumb is going to be in agony. Maybe not agony, but it's not going to feel comfortable. It's not a comfortable feeling. Comfort when playing video games, in terms of the actual process of playing it, like the fatigue on one's hands, the lack of that is something that I feel we have grown a little bit too comfortable with. There was a time when actually just playing video games, the process of playing them, was actually fucking uncomfortable because of how they were designed. And this is one such example. I don't like being hit by a bomb like that. That's, oh, fuck right off with your cheeky behavior. That's not a bad theory, Phantom Nero. It's possible that that wooden block could be burned by the fire whip. I hadn't considered that. The reason why I didn't consider that was because I could see some kind of green aura around it. I don't know if I just made that up, or if I hallucinated it, in other words. But I thought that I saw a green aura around it, which to me would normally suggest that it requires what is referred to in this case a magical item to be able to move it. Just a pushing ability, really. But it's possible. Oh, here we go. That's how to proceed. See, when I last reached this point, I thought that I didn't have this capability, but I do in actual fact. Let's just assume that we can't actually get through those 2 blocks that I assume need to be pushed. We will proceed like so, now that we actually know that we can fucking get through there. I don't believe they actually tell you that you can even do what I just did to get here. I only know to do it from having played Portrait of Ruin. Because you can do that in Portrait of Ruin, and I don't know what other Castlevania games you can do it in, maybe Order of Ecclesia. But a lot of games don't allow you to do that, so... The fact that it's actually just natural to the game, like just an ability that Nathan possesses defaultly, and you're not even informed about it, that's quite cheeky of the game. Perhaps even unfair, one could say. Alright, well, what's over here? Just a way out, I guess. What absolute fun. In my opinion, that is a fucking pointless room. Ugh. I used to have a square-shaped PlayStation 1 controller when I was 6. Uncomfortable as fuck, but I loved it. Why would you love it? I suppose when you're 6 you don't know much of anything, but... you know. A square-shaped controller, that's truly awful. Of course, you can stand on top of the boneheads and be unharmed, that's worth mentioning. I almost got hit by that. Alright. Looks like it's safe to proceed over here, we're not missing anything. Not that I know of. Oh, are you kidding me? I thought I was going in some kind of meaningful direction, but I'm really not. I just went all of that way to get an HP max up. I'm not complaining about the HP max up, I'm just complaining about the lack of progress. I thought that that was going to be an opportunity for progress. By the way, still haven't fought a boss. Waiting for that. It's not that I'm hungry to fight a boss, it's just that I'm a little concerned. I'm not used to being in a game for 30 minutes, or a Castlevania game that is to say, and not have even fought a boss yet. That's weird. Well, how long has it been, actually? Yeah, probably at least 30 minutes, I'd say closer to 40. Hey. Alright, we're gonna have to do a little bit of tactical jumping. Tactical in the sense that timing is actually important here. Oh, that's... okay. We can't come back through that way. That makes sense. That's why that other room is there. So that we can actually get out of this frickin' HP max up path. This is the only... it's literally the only function this area possesses. It's to take you to an HP max up and then that's it. It's a dead end and you have to go this way. Which is a little bit weird to have such a basic reason for a tower to exist. I'm assuming it's a tower of sorts. Getting a little sick of that. That's getting old, okay? It's getting old, so I'd ask you to fucking stop that. Alright. Let's see if we can actually proceed. I think we can definitely proceed. God. You know what that is, everyone? Intellectual laziness. To have assumed that I needed a double jump to proceed. I mean, beggars believe. Anyway. Of course we can proceed without a double jump. All it required was for me to actually try. I don't know what even led me to that conclusion. It's almost embarrassing. Anyway. I said that I was content to be wrong, and I suppose the reason why I was even saying that was because I suggested that I might have been talking out of my arse, and that's precisely what I was doing. Alright. Now we're proceeding in this direction. Mudman. I keep accidentally throwing knives, but you see, they're so bad that I'm not that concerned about throwing them accidentally. I don't feel like I'm squandering them in any sort of way. They're just useless. And again, I'm collecting so many hearts because I hit torches out of sheer habit that really it means nothing. It means nothing to accidentally throw one. The Castlevania is going well. It is literally just Castlevania. Because apparently, according to Konami, this is just Castlevania for Game Boy Advance. If I wanted it to say Circle of the Moon, it had to actually be the Game Boy Color version. I do not possess the Game Boy Color version, and I do confess I didn't realize there was a Game Boy Color version. I suppose it makes sense that there is one, because if you think about it, the Game Boy Advance hadn't been out for that long when this came out, so... yeah, it's nice of Nintendo, or Konami, I suppose in this case, to allow for two versions for those who are not yet prepared to purchase a new portable system. I think that's quite alright. And perhaps that's the reason why this game is as primitive as it is. It's so that it's actually possible to play it on the Game Boy Color as well without changing it too much. Although I would imagine it's even more rigid on the Game Boy Color. I'm tempted to get the Game Boy Color version just to see how it differs. To actually play it. I'll play it in this series, I just won't do it until I've played a few more Castlevania games. I should also clarify, the reason why I was doing a fist-only run for Symphony of the Night in this series before is not because every time I'm going to record for this series it's going to be a special run. The reason why I did that for Symphony of the Night is because I had already done a Let's Play of Symphony of the Night on the channel, but I did want to play it again for this series, so I decided to do a different sort of run. I've not played Circle of the Moon on this channel before, so I'm just doing a standard run in this live stream series. I just felt that it would be nicer for the replayability of certain games to... oh fuck, what are you fuckers? Hoppers is what you're called. Yeah, I don't like them. I just like to keep it in the one series, the one live stream series. Castlevania, just one game at a time. And yeah, at this stage I don't have a reason to do a special sort of run with Circle of the Moon. Gremlin. Gremlins are obviously easy to deal with. Certainly more comfortable to deal with as compared with Medusa heads. Medusa heads can actually die. Well, I'm not enjoying these spears, but whatever. Our save point's quite far away, or at the very least the last one that we accessed. I feel like I went past a possible direction to go in. If it was a direction that I couldn't go in, then I'm tempted to beat myself up over the fact that I didn't actually keep that in mind. Aha! So what that tells me is that it's a save point further down here. Or that there will be one. Hopefully. Yep. Should be a save point. Hello, mummies. I would guarantee that flame damage is going to work wonders on these guys. Oh, I understand. You need to hit the sarcophagus. Why they're calling it a coffin is literally a fucking mystery to me. Why are they calling it a coffin? People stopped calling sarcophagi coffins back in 1922. Okay, 1922. Back when Howard Carter discovered Tutankhamun. Okay, that's how long it's been, so if this game came out in 2001, I would rather suggest that that's quite silly to be calling this a coffin. Anyway. That's actually pure conjecture, I don't know if... The way I look at it is that we would call it a coffin because we use similar things. Like, we actually have our own way of burying the dead in a box. So, we would see a sarcophagus and go, oh, that's a coffin. But my suggestion that the use of the word sarcophagus would have come into use in pop culture back in 1922 is that there was just an absolute explosion of interest in ancient Egypt back in the 20s because of Howard Carter's discovery of Tutankhamun. So, yeah, that's my guess. But you never know, maybe people just called them coffins back then as well. I don't really know why I went on this rather useless, tangential point of discussion, but... yeah. It wasn't even particularly informative in the end. And I apologize for that. But I guess talking about something is better than nothing. We're going to save and then engage the boss. I'm glad that we went in the direction we did because we ended up picking up holy water. But anyway. Let's drop down. So much ascending and descending in this bloody game. At least for so early on, but... oh, fucking... I've gone too far. Obviously my sense of direction is not as good as I thought it was. Alright, so the boss should be right at the top, which is actually quite close to the save point. I had it in my head that it was far away, but it's really not. Stop hitting me. Alright, first boss. Let's go. Oh, it's a werewolf, isn't it? I think so. No, it's you. What is going on? Stop that. Throw some holy water. I remember you. You're actually a little difficult to find. Let's give fire a try. I can... oh, I don't know what you're doing. What are you... oh. This is going to take a few attempts. I can sense that it... and the reason why... I know that doesn't sound especially confident of me. It's because it's not confident at all. Oh. Well, you've turned red, and that's slightly concerning. Oh, really don't want to get hit by that. I do have some potions, it's worth mentioning, but... oh, wow, I wasn't expecting the kick to actually deal so much damage. I have to try and use my run to some degree of effect. Alright, run over here, run! And go on this side, maybe, and hit him. I'm trying my best to hit him. I don't think you can hit him successfully when he's red. Am I correct about that, or do I just suck? Do I really, really suck? It's possible, isn't it? It's not just possible, it's true. Just whether or not that applies here. Let's just assume that when he's red, you can't hit him. Might be the dumbest thing I've said today, but we'll proceed with that assumption. Yeah, congratulations. I don't want to get hit by that fucking light beam, okay? That's what I really don't want to get hit by. Stop! I'm trying to throw this shit. I can't even describe to you how complicated it is to try and use a GameCube controller to play when your A and B buttons are what they are. It's so weird. I'm trying desperately to hit this oh, you can hit him when he's red, it's just not during the transition. Okay, so we do have a potion or two to use. Let me just... potion or two. Let's amend that to a potion or one. Why are you doing that? Does that mean you're gearing up an attack? Why am I doing this to myself? God, I suck. That's alright. I said I would actually need a few attempts at this, and I was dead right. You can play as terribly as I do and still succeed, apparently. I mean, it's truly extraordinary, is how I would... Anyway. Yeah, that would be what I would refer to as a bungled attempt at a boss fight, but I still succeeded, and that's what matters. It is the first boss fight, so at least they didn't make it too difficult. What have we got here? It is double jump already. Already! Okay. I'm not complaining. I love having a double jump. I feel like I can just get around more easily. Okay, well, that was surprising. Oh, fuck, now I have to try and get back without dying. That might actually be harder than you'd expect. I think I'd have a higher chance of successfully killing the boss a second time. Alright, where am I going? I am getting over to... Wait, where am I? Holy shit, how am I going to get back without dying? This is just... This is too much. Okay, I need to really play correctly. Or at least do my bit. Oh, fuck you. This is so bad. This is so bad. If I get killed by one of these gremlin things, don't you dare. I'm actually going to die to a gremlin or to a bat or something. Something's going to kill me and I'm not ready for it. I'm just so not okay with this situation. Alright, gremlin, please don't kill me. What's going to... Spear guy? Not today, spear guy. Bomb guy? I'm not ready to meet my maker. Oh my god. Narrowly escaping death. Okay. How I'm surviving is just a miracle. Or there is no way to describe it except to say that it is a succession of miracles. All happening at once. And in one session of Castlevania. Alright. So we have no more potions, but I'm not that concerned about it because the one that we did have only recovered 30 HP out of what? 30 HP out of 170. 30 health points. I mean, talk about a piss in the ocean of my health. A piss in the ocean of my health. That's a nice phrase. Put that on a shirt, hey? But make sure to... If it's for commercial purposes, give me a cut, okay? Thank you. The double jump can get us up here at least. We don't actually require that jump where we go from wall to wall. The one that I described before when we actually reached a point in the castle that required it. So, see just further down below where that reverse L-shaped section of the castle is that has not been completely discovered. That is one such example. Oh. Hearts max increase. I know what's going on here. We probably can't proceed in the lower area because, like I said, it requires the jumping from one wall to the other ability, which we don't yet have. So I think they actually want us to go all the way back to the first fucking save point of the game and then proceed. I mean, I'd actually rather pull my teeth out with pliers. But that's really my own fault because I had already backtracked there unnecessarily, only to find that it was not yet the time. It was not yet the time. But just to at least be certain in my own mind, if not to reassure my dear audience, I'm going to head back to... Oh, did I actually go down there in the past? That is where I'm supposed to go. Stop it. Get that way. Not that fucking way, man. Go. Whoa, whoa. Okay, so we don't actually... We'll do... What is going on? Doomlink is so confused, it can barely be described in words. Okay, cannot get up there. Thanks for demonstrating that, Doomlink. Let's get the fuck out of here, thank you. Honestly. You can't make this shit up. Now. Time for the Olympic sprint of the century to get back to the first save point as quickly as possible. I closed my eyes briefly and was not watching the game. Is that advisable while playing any video game? No. Is it advisable while playing Castlevania? No. Is it advisable to take this many hits when you could actually just not jump stupidly and try to be slightly more skilled in one's gameplay? I threw holy water rather pointlessly there. Just give it a rest. It's painful to watch this, isn't it? Imagine having to be the person getting hit this much. I'm sorry, the experience points don't interest me right now. I just want to get back to the first save point. It's the second time I've done it now. Like backtracking all that distance. Oh my goodness. Alright. Almost fucking dead. Not really. That was a little hyperbolic. We have now saved the game. Hallelujah. Was it worth taking that many hits? Probably not. Probably not, would be my assessment of that. Alright, I'm jumping through those stupid flea men because they suck. I'm trying to turn towards the enemies that I'm hitting, and it's harder than you might suspect. What's really not okay is the fact that I'm down here, and also, equally as inappropriate is the fact that I've taken this much damage in literally the first area of the next section of the unexplored fucking castle. Ugh. We've got some creepy brain worms flying around. How they actually produce lift is a mystery to me at this stage, and I do have a distinct feeling that I will never figure out how they produce levitation or flotation or can do what they do. But, yeah. It is what it is. Flea men are just absolute misery incarnate. That's what they are. Especially to people like me who suck at Castlevania. Alright. Off we go. Where is Doomlink headed? Well, there are some directions for me to go in, aside from where I just attempted to go, if you do recall. Yes. These areas over here, which I couldn't access before. Look at that, double jump gets us right to where we need to go. Abyss stairway. Not yet, sir. Not yet. Let's check over here. It's also the Abyss stairway, I could have guessed. But I didn't guess, so I had best be quiet. Oh, there's a lot of jumping involved here. If you don't have the double jump, you're in trouble. If you glitched yourself up here, you're not going to be continuing. How on earth you'd managed to do that, I couldn't imagine, but... Oh yeah, Super Castlevania 4 is a perfectly respectable, only Castlevania game to have played. It is difficult. I'd say Super Castlevania 4 is the best of the traditional Castlevania games, so I would say, and this is just from the knowledge of many years ago, I don't know if the community sentiment has changed in 15 plus years, but originally it was general consensus that if you were going to play a traditional Castlevania game, you play Super Castlevania 4. That is a fucking good game. And I have it on Super Nintendo, but I don't think I'm ready to fucking play it. I did try to play it, 2 or 3, and it was 3 years ago I tried to play it last, and yeah, it tore me a new asshole pretty quickly, so I need to build some comfort and also skill in Metroidvania first, I suspect. In fact, I know it to be sure. Alright. I don't really like the idea of going all the way back down here, but I think we'll do that. Oh, hold on, hold your horses. There's a direction for me to go in over here. Do I want to go this way? I don't know. Let's just assume that we do. Oh, this music again. It's so terribly nostalgic, isn't it? Yes. Was it actually useful at all for me to come back here? No. Why? Alright, let's just assume we don't want to go this way after all. Oh, my poor thumb. Alright, understood. I can't go back from this direction. Oh, you painful game, you. Pretty much all music in this game is nostalgic to me. Probably is for most of you as well. It's just adorable. I mean, just the fucking sensation, that tingling, pleasant sensation you get when you get transported to another time. For many people, myself included, a better time. Not just, I don't mean in terms of the life that I was leading, but I mean the life or the world that I was living in, if that makes sense. Yeah, long story. I don't like much of the modern world, sorry. But, anyway. It's not a fun discussion to have at any rate. And it's not the rose-tinted glasses theory either, I don't want to hear that shit. Because I practically live in the past. I know what things were like. I know how things were. Anyway. Breathe your thing. I waited for him to breathe, and I still fucked it up. What's wrong with me? Hold on, let me just... Well, that's one way to get across. And it's a save point. Brilliant. Alright. Here we go. And just like that, we continue. Great. Thanks, Doomit. Your commentary is adding so much. Let me try and get up here without actually getting hit a million times. I can sense that that might be more difficult than it sounds. Okay, well, it wasn't as difficult as I initially suspected. I just need to stop playing stupidly. I don't think I really like the design of this area. It's a bit shit, actually. A bit unimaginative. And, in fact, repetitive. But, you know, not everything has to be a work of art, I guess, is what you would say in response to a criticism of that sort. Like I'm throwing my holy water as a projectile rather than as a thing that's supposed to deal damage. Look at that. That's quite good. I'm doing it unintentionally, as I said, or as I have said before. But, yeah, it's actually being thrown as more of a short-range throwing knife, and it seems to hurt all the same. As demonstrated just then. Now. It's a little difficult to keep track of where I've been, where I'm going. Audience room. Not just yet. I have more to discover over here, so we're going to backtrack just a little bit. If my character is constantly doing weird maneuvers, it's because you actually do have to double tap in order to run, which means that you do actually begin moving in a particular direction, and then stutter, and then start running. That's actually how you're supposed to move in this game. Like I said, a little bit crude, but it is what it is. It turns out we do have to go to the audience room. Let's do that. I wasn't absolutely certain, and I'm glad that I confirmed it, because now I don't have to second guess myself. I know for certain that the direction we need to go in is in fact the audience room. Good. Alright. Brilliant. We don't need the throwing axe. Throwing axes are nice and all that. But I do find holy water to be generally better. Oh, a different location again. Let's just fully explore this first, shall we? Let's try fire damage. So 19 to 21. I'm happy with 21. Let's go with that. I'm going to try and stop attacking torches and candles and the like. It's difficult to actually stop myself from doing it, but it's not helpful at this stage because I don't need hearts, actually. Hello, creature. Oh, we got a Venus card. Looked like a Yenus card, actually, with that font, but anyway. Let's see what this combination creates. That's not what we want. We want DSS. So, Venus and Salamander does what? Whatever that is, some sort of what I would presume to be non-elemental damage. I mean, maybe it is dealing more damage, but it's actually passively consuming my... Whoa, that's a lot of damage there. It's passively consuming my MP. Well, I can't move that shit yet, so there you are. Look, I don't at this stage see a need to use that combination of cards, so we're going to go back to Mercury Salamander. Thank you. That's brilliant. Not? Whew. Breathe. Doomlink. 'Tis required. In moments of absolute fury. Yes. How have we been going in this live stream? God. Jeez, it's only been like an hour and 15 minutes. What's going on? Okay. Feels like it's been longer. That's alright, I'm happy to do the 2 hours. I'm enjoying myself. I can't believe that we're actually going through so many different areas this quickly. I keep wanting to fully explore these other areas, thinking that there's a lot more to be explored before I progress to the next location within the castle, and then it turns out, no, we're just going to another location again, constantly. We've probably been in 4 different locations in the last 15 to 20 minutes, which is rather unheard of, at least for me. But I don't dislike it. It's sort of, it gives you a taste test for all these different areas, and then you may end up backtracking and exploring them more fulsomely later on. To be honest, I'm actually happy with just draining my MP and then going to the standard whip once I'm out and then recovering it. Why do it any other way? I shouldn't be so conservative with my use of MP. I'm happy with my flame whip. If it feels like I'm doing unnecessarily low damage or unnaturally low damage, I'll remove the flame effect because maybe the enemy that I'm fighting has high flame resistance. But as far as default damage, I may as well just use the Mercury Salamander ability. Stop turning... Okay, if you're wondering why I'm turning away from enemies before I attack them, it's because in the process of trying to crouch, I'm actually accidentally rocking the D-pad to the other direction. It's really fucking annoying. That's the complaint that I knew I was going to be having with this D-pad on the GameCube controller. Alright, so let's go and equip some armor. Body armor. Now, cotton clothes actually would have been an increase in defense, but I like how cotton clothes is 20 points of defense more than our standard defense, but then leather armor versus cotton clothes is just 10, which is weird. How are cotton well, leather armor, I don't know. Cotton versus leather in terms of hardness? I don't know. Is it an accurate representation of the difference in hardness and, indeed, effectiveness as armor? Well, probably not, but it is what it is. Not worth wondering about. I do need to be careful with my health. I don't know when my next save point is going to appear. I'm going to check to see if this one is a save point, actually. It's good to just make sure. And it's not. In fact, I can't even proceed, which is fine. Get out of my way. I don't want to deal with your sword or your pirate costume-wearing ass. You bony individual. Alright, we've got our heart max up just here. And I don't think we can go further. No. Not at all. That's alright. It wasn't the only direction we could have gone in, so it's not the end of the world. It will be the end of the world, however, if we don't find... Oh god, electric skeleton. I don't really want to see you ever again, especially with my health this low. But yeah, a save point would be excellent. You will occasionally in this game, and in any Castlevania game quite frankly, end up in situations where you're sort of sitting there going, is there a save point? Why have I not found one? Where is the save point? Oh god, I'm gonna die if I don't get one soon. That's the situation sometimes. That wasn't one of those scenarios, fortunately, because I just found a save point, and I'm glad that I did, but it does happen sometimes, and you sort of have to be ready for it. The way that you deal with situations like that is by playing as best you can at all times, just in case you do have to wait a while. Because you may eventually reach the point of no return where, whether you continue forwards or backtrack, you're at risk of dying. So, yeah. The question becomes, do you try to get back to the save point that you know is there, or do you just go for it and try to reach a save point that has yet to be discovered? That you don't even know the location of. It's the beauty of Dracula's castle. What's down here? I've been here before. Wow. Hold on. You better are you actually shitting me? I have to go all the way back. All the way back. Dracula's castle. Built by a troll. A troll architect. I suppose we can say that I'm referring to this species of mythical creature, but god, what a troll. Yeah, alright. I'm running past you guys because I'm pissed, okay? I'm pissed off. I'm trying to get to that... Oh, god damn it. You guys know what I'm trying to reach, don't you? It's that exit point just further south of my current position. I just need to get there without falling down to a level that requires me to go all the way around again to get back here. Alright. So... Oh, that is so unfair. How do I make that jump? Oh, I think I know how to do it. I have to do it like this. There you go. It's not that hard. I got an HP max up. Because of my palpable gumption. Oh, that was palpable failure, actually. Alright. Ugh! You get your electricity out of my face. Up we go. I can see that we have 2 exit points further north. Just fucking face in the direction I want you to face. How damn difficult is it? Ugh, this bloody D-pad. Can't wait to get some more batteries. Batteries. Yes. Batteries. I don't want to go this way yet. I want to go horizontal before I go vertical, if that makes sense. That's the ideal direction of exploration for me. Alright. And you get out of my face. I just don't like the electric skeletons. I expect that they'll deal so much damage to me that it's going to somehow jeopardize my run. Outer wall, there you are. Alright, I think that you actually get the other jumping ability in the outer wall location. Oh, I destroyed a piece of this pillar. Now I can go over here or something. Great. We're just going to continue down here for now. I'd like to just see what there is to acquire on the lowest level first. Okay, that was unexciting, unimpressive, and a downright waste of my time. I can't really see where I'm jumping, but I'm jumping somewhere. Ah! I hate it when you're jumping blindly like that. Alright. Good for you. More flying brain worm things. I just fucking threw a bottle of water at you. Take that. The power of hydration compels you. Alright. There's no jump that I can really make up there that works. What's happening over here? I don't want to... Oh, actually, this is all undiscovered territory, quite frankly. So, I'll get your lightning out of here. That's 28 damage. That hurts, you know? That's pretty decent. Nope. That's a decent chunk. That's like maybe... Well, it's probably less than a tenth of my health, but still, I mean, that's a decent amount for a single attack. If I'm even considering referring to it as a tenth of my health, that's a lot. Max HP increases. I like how they speak of it in the present tense. It's currently increasing, look! Just tell me what it does. Don't tell me what it's doing. It's weird when you do that. I don't want to hear of it in those terms. Save point. I could smell it. I could smell it. Alright, well that pleases me. To no end. It's always that sigh of relief that you can breathe. Knowing that you've reached that next checkpoint and you can just calmly explore without sort of sitting on the edge of your seat going, oh fuck, where's my next save point? Relax. You found it. At least for now. And another rock that I can't move. At this stage I just want to find a boss so that I can get that moving ability. I feel like that's going to be the next boss. Oh, it's a warp point already. Well, I don't think I'm ready to go there yet. I think there's another direction for me to travel in. There's two, actually, that I can see. That's alright, we'll go there at a later date. I don't think it would necessarily be a bad thing to go there right now. It's just that that's not how I do exploration. I try to follow the path of least resistance first. To me, engaging with the new fancy... Okay, we don't want to go that way. Engaging with the new fancy room is probably not the priority. I'd rather do this. Okay. Now, should I have tried to continue exploring beneath that warp room or what? Oh, hello. What's happening over here? You're a devil tower. Why you're referred to as a tower when you're actually just a floating mask is, quite frankly, a mystery of mysteries, but it is the mystery of all the mysteries. I don't know what I'm saying. Alright. More leather armor. Not needed, sorry. Why do I keep getting leather armor from you anyway? Mandragora card. This'll be good. One would assume. Okay, Mandragora is probably going to be a plant-based ability. I don't know if that's elemental. Plant element. Nature. Anyway, let's try Mercury and Mandragora. Mercury Mandragora creates, I'm going to guess, a whip? Yes. Okay, and then therefore, I guess this is still going to be a whip effect with Venus, but Venus seems to have a passive consumption of my MP. Yeah, which does that. There's nothing going on, it's just a random golden whip thing. Don't need it, not interested. I'm going to use Mercury Mandragora. I'd rather do that. Not a fan of that passive MP consumption, because what it requires at that point is for me to actively use the magic aura ability every time I want to actually make use of it, if that makes sense. Actually have to press a button just to use it, otherwise keeping it constantly active is a waste. I want it to be constantly active, without any considerable detriment. Or downside. I'm in that sort of uncomfortable period, or I'm reaching that uncomfortable moment where I had other directions to go in, but they're getting further and further away. Hopefully I'm going the right way. That's the big concern you have, isn't it? It seems that flea men actually take a lot of damage from the rose whip. Rose whip. I'm calling it the rose whip because I'm seeing roses on the thorns, I think. Makes sense, right? Roses have thorny stems. So, the association is fairly clear. And we can't proceed. That's unfortunate. How about up here? Yep, I'd say so. Let's kill this will-o-wisp. I don't think we can go up there, no. And I'm guessing that's probably going to be... Oh no, it's not it for our progression. We can get a heart max up, which we don't really need. And get the hell out of here, because we can't actually continue. There's a whole lot of backtracking that's going to need to take place in this goddamn game. Oh my god. Just the amount of backtracking I've seen so far is turning me off. Is what it is. Alright, you guys need to fuck off. I've had my fill of you axe-throwing weirdos with your armor that is not leather at all, but keeps dropping as leather armor. I want your plate armor, I don't want your undergarment. Why do I want your undergarment? If I wanted your undergarment, I would have made some attempt to, I don't know, stand beneath you while you go up a flight of stairs or something. In true Japanese style. How many leather armors am I going to get? If I put them all on top of each other, will I be extra strong? Can I have a little system where my mobility goes down but my defense goes up the more leather armor I don? Stop! You bolt-throwing thing that I've just now turned into a reference to a death metal band. Oh, get up there. Alright. It's a boss, which means, ideally, there's going to be a... whatchamacallit? Save point nearby. Hey! Excuse the weird noises, by the way. They are what you would... tend to refer to as reactions. I received a golem card, but this is of little consolation. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go this way. Let's get back to that fucking save point, because... And I have to be very... Oh my god, I hate you so much. I need to get to a save point. I've got a new card. That's one that does not drop all the time. Okay, what does that do for me? Oh, it gives you a really long whip. That's kind of cool. I like that. So, really long whip. Don't know if that gives me any additional damage or if it's just a range increase. And then Venus gives me what? What's that? Strong whip again? Just your whip goes a funny color and it deals more damage or something. Let's do really long whip. No! Really long whip, please. Do your electricity and then I'll really long whip you to death. Yeah, really long whip is probably going to keep me nice and safe. One would fucking pray. Is the question? No, I'm definitely not backtracking. I can't actually backtrack to a save point. I would die in the process. So let's just pray that there's going to be a save point somewhere further down. You get away from me. I'm probably at a point in my health where I could very easily die in one hit. Wristband, is that going to increase my defense? I would very much appreciate it right about now. Okay, we've equipped a wristband. Please give me a save point. Ugh. It's alright. Like I said, extra long whip comes in handy, doesn't it? There's our save point. Mwah. You please me, video game. You please me to no end. I'm more grateful to the video game than I am to the save point, for fairly obvious reasons. I don't think the save point can be congratulated for the convenience, because it's just sitting where it is. It's not really something the save point can take credit for. I don't think the save point positioned itself in the way that it did by choice. I think it just, you know, was plopped somewhere by the troll architect of Dracula's castle. Alright, so what is the weakness of this enemy? We're going to find out. Our first attempt... Oh, it's death. Or, never mind, it's just a necromancer. Extraordinary to be dropped into the abyss and still live. It's fair. I mean, it's not so much the abyss itself, it's the drop in question. I can't believe that he didn't die from the fall. He's got iron legs. But your luck is about to run out. Get out of my way. Child, before I finish you, I will tell you some news. Okay? Your precious master is already in our power. Guys, let's do a little better with the translation. That old man will feed us with his soul. The rite has been prepared, and we only await the full moon. No! Nathan did not like that. So, what have we got? Let's check the damage of our... Oh, this is going to take a few attempts, I can fucking feel it. Okay, so that's 13 damage. How about without the long whip? Is it 13 as well? Stop it. Right now, this is just a test run. It's 13? Okay. So that confirms my initial theory, and that is that the extra long whip, as I describe it, is just that. It does not increase the damage, it only increases the reach. So, 13 standard, 15 salamander, and Mandragora is what? Probably the best one, right? Trying to figure this out. So it was 15, that's our best. We need to beat, 16. Okay, so let's go Mandragora then. I'm happy with that. Now, is it worth even attempting to succeed at this point? Probably not, but I'm doing it anyway. Let's not get hit by any of this shit. I'll keep fighting him because, quite frankly, it's a good test run. I can learn a little bit about the fight before we... Oh, fuck off. That can't be it. That's stage 1, right? Stage 2 is a demon guy who's probably a whole lot harder to deal with. Oh god, he's got a bouncy ball. Demon with bouncy ball. And I'm dead. Hello, Hussein. Well, the music's rather sad, isn't it? Almost brings a tear to my eye. Let's give that another try. We know that we want the Mandragora. Brilliant. Now we're back to happy music. Ah, happy music. It sounds pretty happy compared to that failure music, doesn't it? My thumb hurts. Just to, you know, update on my thumb. Why does your thumb hurt, Doomlink? It's because this game was designed as like a form of strength building for your digits. Am I in need of such strength building while playing a video game? No. I'm really not. Just to give you my feedback. But indeed, giving it far too late. Okay. Yes, I've read all this. Stop it. Imagine having to read all this shit every time. You've got no choice. Because your save is not going to recognize that you've attempted the boss already. What? I swear to God I activated Mandragora. I mean, can we just appreciate the fact that I activated it? Maybe I didn't, and I'm going crazy, but anyway. Face in the direction of the fucking enemy when you... Oh my god, I mean, it's enough to make anyone want to scream. Alright. I need to try and not walk into this guy. I'm playing like complete shit. I mean, I don't know what the strategy is. The strategy is swing weapon at enemy and hope that I don't die, I guess. At the moment he's floating into me, and if you can believe it, and I almost can't, I'm playing worse now than I was in the first attempt. Alright. Should I use a potion? Is there even a point? Yeah, 30 points. That's a point. Now, is the... Let's just assume that Mandragora is best with you. I don't know what you're doing, but... Oh, it's an opportunity, that's what you're doing. Giving me an opportunity, that's very nice of you. Alright, and we've got the bouncy ball again. We don't want to get hit by the bouncy ball. That doesn't interest me very much. That's an opportunity. I'm very pleased with the fact that you've given me that opportunity. I am one hit away from death. Bouncy ball. Not this time, Sonny Jim. And he's killed me by flying around. Killed by flying around. Alright. Let's try that again, but with a little bit less flailing around of the character and a little bit more intentional positioning. Something that at least imitates skill and vaguely resembles, I don't know, ability? Non-stupidity? You know what I mean. Alright, let's get around this shit. Why am I going this way? I mean, it is a miracle that I am capable of such profound ineptitude when it comes to playing a video game, and yet still somehow progress through it. Okay, yeah, come on. Let's go. What? Screams Nathan. No! Also screams Nathan. Let's just stay down here. Not this. We want Mandragora, please. Let's stay down here. I'm just trying to avoid taking hits, or at least taking hits in the way I was last time. Wasn't working at all, was it? I don't mind. Let's do a bit of running around. That's not fucking working. It's very important that I take that as an opportunity to hit him. That's immensely important. That still hit me, even though I was really hoping that it wouldn't. Stop it, go away. You floating around, much like your demonic counterpart, is quite frankly the most difficult to deal with attack of all. Floating around attack. And then the demon counterpart is flying around attack. Aimlessly moving around. Take that. I don't know, it's hard to deal with when you are as immobile as Nathan is. Fucking Nathan. Alright, I've got slightly more health than last time. Oh, bouncy ball attack, look out. Oh, God. Bouncy ball of death. I need to do better than this. Here we go, opportunity. Take that. Oh no, oh! Almost got twice hit by bouncy ball attack. Flying attack. Opportunity. Please die. I beg of you. Alright, jump over him. Yeah. No, and I regret to say that bouncy ball of death has, once again, caused my death. As the name would suggest. Bouncy ball of severe hurt. Perhaps we could rephrase it, because, you know, there's no guarantee that I'm going to die when I get hit by it, so maybe bouncy ball of death is preempting the result of being hit by said ball. Rather inaccurately, in fact. We want to go up here, and eventually get to the boss room, once again. I'm starting to be driven insane. Just fucking stop. Just stop slowly strolling up to the boss and all of that. I've seen it before. What? Yes, Nathan. No! Too bad. You can say no all you want, but the reality will remain the same. In fact, it doesn't matter how many times you read the same sentence, it's never going to change. You're doomed to repeat the same storytelling scenario until you finally kill the guy with the big robe that turns into the flying demon thing. Is it literally him, or is it just a familiar? Is the necromancer in control of the familiar? Is the familiar, in fact, in control of the necromancer? Is the necromancer still the same boss as the familiar that replaces him? These are the questions that are being asked, but will not be answered, because there is no answer. There is only theory. And quite frankly, the successful dispatching of the boss is of much greater importance than the theory crafting of random bosses in Circle of the Moon, not to offend those who do this for a living on a daily basis, maybe not for a living, but those that have a serious hobby out of it. I'm sure they exist. And that was quite a dramatic, flaming destruction of the necromancer guy. Opportunity. Alright, now jump over him, or stay underneath him, whatever works. I'm just scared of the bouncy ball, okay? I'm gonna go to sleep tonight and I'm gonna think about the bouncy ball. Hold on, bouncy ball! Oh! Oh, look at how it bounces around. Alright. He's flying into me again. Flying attack. I'm getting slightly less shit with every passing moment. No! Thwarted again by the maneuvers of the ball. No! Twice in a row! Look at all the bones! Look at... Oh my god. I mean... I don't care if you're a master. That's a tall order to evade that sort of bouncing ball bonery. How many bones was that? Something like 5 bones being thrown in my direction while the bouncy ball is, quite frankly, after my life. The bloodlust of the green spherical object which seems to bounce as opposed to float after me aggressively is just too much for me to be able to deal with. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of whips generally, but this is one of those games where your whip is your only option. You're essentially going to be upgrading your whip, specifically as you go through the game. So, there you are. I don't really dislike it. I think Circle of the Moon's a good game. I'm just not really good enough to play it well right now. I'll get better as the Let's Play, or rather as the live stream series goes on. Just once I remember how to play the damn game, I guess. Alright. In this case, it's just a matter of getting comfortable with the game again. Stop, just fucking die, man. Sneak a little attack in, or I tried to go for a sneaky. Didn't work very well. Just get out of here. What the fuck are you doing? Yeah, it's time to die. You've overstayed your welcome. Okay, this is actually rather good. As far as scenarios go, I'll get immediately into the ball that bounces and turns green. Well, it doesn't just turn green, it is green, isn't it? Let's not... I think the boss has detected that I mean business. Flying attack. We've had 2 bouncy balls and 1 flying attack, and the fight has only just begun. I think, oh my god, a 4th ball attack. Good god. He's not pulling any punches today. He could see that I'd brought my A game, and, oh, this is too much. I can't deal with it. I need a timeout. And I don't mean the chocolate bar. No, that's not fair. I'm sorry, like, whether there's a sense of fairness or not involved in boss fights in Castlevania, I feel like that's not cool. Whew. Alright, now that's not... Oh, 2 level ups in a row, actually, from that boss. That's okay. I might be close to death, but I'm actually willing to use a potion for this. Remember when I said it was 30 HP points? No, it's fucking 20. Unbelievable. Okay, so... yeah, I've no regrets when it comes to using a potion to at least make myself slightly less likely to die after having killed the boss. I know Master is still alive. Hold on, I'll be there. I agree, Yells. Though, where is Hugh? I don't know where that guy is. He literally told you to sit back and do nothing. Because he has no confidence in you, and you're worried about that guy? Oh, what's this business? Tackle received. Forward plus special move button. What's special? Oh, I see. Forward plus special move button is... I don't know, actually. What is it? Oh, it's that special move button. That's pretty cool. Oh, I see. That's for breaking rocks. That's certainly for breaking rocks. Okay, let's get to a save point. Sooner rather than later. We've got a little bit more time to kill, I regret to say. About 10 minutes worth. So, let's get to a save point and maybe try to progress. I just want to find a good spot to stop because I want it to be very clear as to what I'm going to do next when I return. I don't know when I'm going to return, but whatever. Saving the game. The game. Sorry, we're going to switch from German to English now. The game. Oh, thank you, Doomley. I'm not sure what kind of joke that was supposed to be. It certainly wasn't meant to be a funny one, whatever it was. At least one would hope not. Now, let's, I guess, go in the way forward, or let's go in the direction that's closest to where we are currently that we have yet to discover or traverse. Great idea. Mandragora. Slime. Torch, or rather candle. Candlestick. Alright, here's that ability. There, we just destroyed it. Brilliant. We unlocked a shortcut, presumably, in having done that. And actually, I'm quite happy to start off here, because then we can probably go back through all of those other directions and destroy rocks. Not to achieve anything except the destruction of rocks. I just have a strange predilection for destroying rocks. Well, should I go all the way down to that? Oh god, let's just do it. Let's just do it. It'll be hopefully quick. Hopefully quick? Or do I actually have to zigzag around like a dick for 10 minutes? Yeah, I have to zigzag around like a dick. I can't just drop down and get to the bottom. I have to do this crap. Oh my god. Talk about unpleasant. Let's check this out. Maybe there's a rock. You never know. Oh, that's not a rock. Oh, I can't do much with that. That Iron Maiden's not moving at all. Very well. We're going over here then. Wow, 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 wow. Thanks, Doomlink. That was so needed. But, I don't know, I had an urge and had to get it out. Alright. No, that's not the title track of Iron Maiden by Iron Maiden by Iron Maiden. That's, what song is that even? I can't even remember which. I think it's from the first album. But it's funnier when I do that, isn't it? My intention was actually to hum, or sing, or whatever the fuck you'd call that, the song Iron Maiden by Iron Maiden from the Iron Maiden album. By Iron Maiden. But, that was not that song. How do I get to that save point? Let's try going a little higher. There we go. Yes. We've saved the game. And now we're going to seek out a rock. I know where it is, actually. I just hope that it's going to lead to something worthwhile. It probably won't, but anyway. Oh, it's only 1 damage because apparently, you see, once you have a certain amount of defense beyond the attack's damage level, you'll just take 1 damage. It's like a flat rate of damage dealt to you. It'll never deal 0 damage, in other words. So the box is there, I believe, so we don't want to go there. I'm pretty sure I'm correct about that. If I'm wrong about it, then... well, it's going to be rather embarrassing, isn't it? But I'm going to assume that I'm not wrong, okay? Look how much damage I'm doing to these enemies that I used to only deal a very small amount of damage to. I have progressed immensely in this video game in so little time. At least it feels that way. Okay, so the rock is just up ahead. I don't know what it's going to lead to. My guess is it's going to be something as insignificant, relatively speaking, as an HP max-up. I hope it will be something game-breaking. It could even, in fact, be the ability to jump around on walls and things. How far into the game is this? I've only done one recording. I've been playing for about 2 hours, so we'll say it's about 2 hours worth of gameplay. Not much at all. Probably something along the lines of 5% of the way through. If even. Probably 5% is a fair guess. Actually, maybe that's not fair. More than 5%. If you were to look at it from a perspective of castle completion, it would be more than 5%. Maybe like 10. But the point is, it's pretty much still the beginning. As far as I'm concerned, anyway. Alright, get me to the rock, please. How did I miss the... Oh my god, I need a timeout. I need to go to bed or something. But no, I have to watch anime before I go to bed with my friend. Which I don't dislike, it's just that... Due to the time change between Australia and Europe, it's starting to become either I do anime with my friend or I record a video after work. And I hate having to choose between those two things. It sucks. Hello, stone armor. You're throwing lots of stones. And it's not especially welcome. I'm really, really doing my best to hit you, and I know it might have looked as if I was flailing around with no real effectiveness, but I was doing my best, as pathetic as it might have appeared. Oh, it wasn't even as good as a fucking HP max-up, it was an MP max-up. Let's just put this in context. I would have been disappointed if I received an HP max-up, and I didn't even get that. I've never felt so insulted in all my life. I don't even know what to do with myself now. That was like that was the house of cards that's just come tumbling down. The house of cards representing my emotional state. I was in an extremely vulnerable position emotionally when I reached the end of that pathway. And I was just shattered by what I had to deal with, which was not even the appearance of an HP max-up. It was below my lowest expectations. I mean, that's just... Oh. I backtracked so far for that fucking MP max-up. Why? Because I don't know. I got all excited about the original rock that I saw, expecting that it was going to be some major item. No, not at all. Not at all. I do think it's a good idea, though, to go back the way I'd come, because I think there were a lot of rocks to destroy going in this direction, so... If I approach it from the same direction as how I originally got there, maybe that would be a good way to proceed. A good way to get through all of those rocks that I'd come across. Do it in the same order that I first found them. Don't know. Makes sense to me. Alright. Brains are there. Oh, of course, I can't go this way. For God's sake. Alright, how long have we been recording? I'll keep going. Just for a bit longer. Just for a bit longer. Says Nathan. I don't even know if that's accurate or not. As an impression, probably not. My game volume's fairly low for what I would hope to be fairly obvious reasons. Okay. I'll go up through here. And now to ascend this fucking place again. Oh, goody. Goody. I don't actually know what's happening with... What is happening with those square rooms that seem to be inaccessible? Now. Let's see. Oh no, I think that's an Iron Maiden, isn't it? It is. I don't actually know how to open those things. Probably a magical item of some kind. One that we have yet to acquire. So I'm not too worried about it. Oh, there's a save point there. Let's definitely activate that. I'm not necessarily anticipating my death, but I do want to be properly saving in case, I don't know, I walk past a save point much later on and then I end up returning to a save point so far from where I was that it's just past the threshold of acceptability. Alright. Can't go that way. So, back up through here. Yeah, I suppose I'm in two minds about the amount of backtracking I've had to do so early on in the game. I like backtracking, it's just that moving around in this game is not very comfortable. It's not just a matter of convenience or inconvenience, it's a matter of my thumb being in agony. Okay? Like my thumb actually hurts, the joint feels like it's being worn away by repetitious double tapping of my fucking D-pad. I mean, I have to say, this is one of the most uncomfortable games to play. Fact. Like, for those of you who want to try and disbelieve that, go play the fucking game and you tell me how it feels to have to double tap the D-pad like every 3 seconds for 2 hours worth of playing. Like, oh, it's enough to just... It's enough to make you want to put your head in your hands and just cry. The only reason why I'm not doing that is because it's almost over. Because I am sort of getting towards the end of this recording. Getting there, slowly but surely. I don't actually remember where any of these rocks are. I don't think they're as close as I suspected they were. Let's go up here, I think. Oh, hi, axe armor, with your rather unthreatening, or non-threatening, yeah, non-threatening axes. The axes are quite small in this game, that's what I'm trying to say. The axes are bigger in other games. Alright, that is a possible direction to go in. Haven't even attempted to go in that direction. First rock I see in this general area, so let's destroy it. He says after destroying it 5 seconds ago. Skeleton Knight. Zombie Thief. He looked like he was doing a dance. He's getting down. Literally getting down. On the ground. It is usually a form of surrender if you get down on the ground, but I just fucking swung my whip and decimated him, which was a little unkind of me to do. Alright. I'm just looking for a save point at this stage. Next save point will be the conclusion of this recording. When will he find the next save point? It could literally be at any time. Machine Tower. Alright, first save point of the Machine Tower. Unless, well, actually, I'm rather interested to see what this other door leads to. I'm not really fussed. Alright, well, we can't go up there, so we'll go down here, and I'll just hope that that's a save point. It's fucking not. In fact, I can't even progress. Why? Because the game, or rather, the troll who built Dracula's castle is trolling me. As we speak, it is happening in real time. Trolling in real time. Welcome to the Machine Tower. I remember this place. And it's not just because it reminds me of the Tower of Death. It's the Machine Tower. It is the place where mechanisms go about their business and we have to use them to get around. Stop. Don't do that. How am I supposed to get to where I need to go if I'm going to so uselessly platform? Thank God there's a ledge there. Oh, it's a Medusa head that will actually freeze me in place very well. Don't you dare hit me, son. Just stop. I walked away from the Medusa head, slowly, but in a state of pure terror. Oh, that actually broke it. I do love this music, by the way. It's harder than you might fucking think to actually crouch and then face in the correct direction. Like, in other words, the direction you intend to attack in. Shouldn't have done that. Oh. I don't know why I'm putting myself through this crap. Why am I doing this to myself? I will smile. I don't need to smile bitterly. I can smile with a sense of genuine relief. Oh, okay. Thank you for watching, everyone. This has been Castlevania. Circle of the Moon. Sorry, just Castlevania, actually. And I hope you all enjoyed. The reason why I was sort of on edge towards the end of the recording is because I'm a little tired. And also the fatigue on my thumb is really quite noticeable. Sessions of more than 2 hours is ill-advised with this game because of that fatigue in the thumb, or on the finger, depending on what you use to press your D-pad. I would imagine it's probably your thumb. That is what would make most sense, unless you're some sort of strange clawed creature. I will bid you all farewell for now, and I'll see you next time I'm recording Castlevania or anything else of mine you would like to watch. Bye-bye.